Good afternoon. This is Cindy Harding with Outlaws Capital Partners, and today is tip number 3. And this is all talking about networking, and whether you are attending UP or just in your networking that you're doing, any of these tips would apply. So whether it's a weekly meeting, monthly meeting, Zoom, whatever. So hopefully they'll help you. Because if we're taking the time to network, we definitely want it to be successful. We want it to be worth our time and the time of the people that we're meeting. So my tip number 3 is to think about where you are in your business and kind of what your next step is, or who do you need to connect with? What is something that is maybe a hurdle that you're facing? Because at the UP event, there are times that we all are meeting together, but then there are times in between, and there are vendors that are set up all throughout the convention hall, and you're able to go and talk to the different vendors, and you want to make use of that time. And that's why I want you to think about like where you are in your process of multifamily and what is like your next step. So when we went 2 years ago for the 2019 in Boston, we went and talked to the different vendors and got their business cards, made a few notes with my Sharpie. And one of them in particular was a new company that was starting, and they were doing investor portals. So we didn't have a deal, had never done a deal, so didn't really even know like what that looked like, or what were the requirements that we would need. Like we just didn't know what we didn't know. And so there was one in particular that I took some time and we talked with them and got some information, and it just really felt like they answered a lot of my questions, because that was kind of our next step, was figuring out the portal that we were going to use. And it was one that's owned by 3 brothers. And I kind of remembered that, and their names all started with J. That was like kind of all I remembered. Well, when we did our first deal, we had a coach, and so we used her investor portal. Lo and behold, it was the same company. And so the first time I'm talking with the guy, I said, I think I've already met you. You have 2 other brothers. You guys are all your names start with J. And he was like, yes, that's us. And so I was able to make that connection that I had already met him. I already had confidence in their product just from the way they were able to answer my questions. So take the time in between to talk to vendors. And before you go, really think about like, what is your next hurdle? What are you looking for? Is it a SEC attorney? Is it a investment portal? There's all different stages that we need, and they offer all kinds of vendors there. Are you looking for a broker for your mortgage, your lender, all of those? So just think about that, and then seek those vendors out when you have time. But then also don't limit yourself to that. Talk to all the vendors that are there, that might have some interest to you maybe later down the road. So tip number 3, talk, talk, talk.